to this conversation.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ray, and I am an African immigrant to the United States that has managed to find my way back home. And it's great to be here. Africa, the new land of infinite opportunity. My parents left Egypt about 45 years ago. There was no opportunity there. They had to escape. My father washed dishes. And here I am, 24 years of peer-to-peer entrepreneurship. And it's taken that long for me to figure out what we actually have to do these next 6 years, and we don't have much time. I'm here to talk to you today about the peer-to-peer revolution. Peer-to-peer is bigger than Bitcoin. It's bigger than cryptocurrency. It's bigger than blockchain. And it's even bigger than finance itself. It started with the internet. Then we got these amazing mobile devices that could disrupt everything except for finance. That's the one thing we couldn't touch. Even all those disruptive startups and all our amazing code and entrepreneurs, we couldn't touch those rails until we got peer-to-peer electronic cash, which is Bitcoin, the first blockchain, right? So we all love to talk about blockchain, right? Blockchain is awesome. How awesome would a PlayStation be if there were no games? It'd be completely useless. The killer app of blockchain is freedom money. Let's remember that. That's what we're here for. Why is freedom money so important? Let's talk about the biggest problem in the world. And this problem affects the entire world, but no place more so than right here, this continent. This problem is so big and so expansive that we've all just kind of gotten used to it. And we think it's just how the way things are. But it's not. It's not natural at all. It's not the way things ought to be. So I gave the problem a name. I call it financial apartheid. Because that's exactly what it is. Africa is the most overregulated region in the entire world. This is true. It costs more to send money within Africa than it does to send money from the outside of Africa in. If I want to send money to the country next door right here in Africa, I'm better off on getting on a train with a suitcase full of cash. The banking system does not work. Why? Because here in Africa, we use an even more broken version of already broken and corrupted, fragmented, and utterly ghetto system called SWIFT. We deserve better than that. And guess what? That is by design. It is not an accident. That is that ghetto when broken, even outside of Africa. In the right in Campos. How many people here have an M-Pesa account? Raise your hands. M-Pesa. You guys should be proud. Older than PayPal. 98% of Kenyans have an M-Pesa account. It's mobile. Others. That's great, huh? Except you can't send money from an M-Pesa account in Kenya to an M-Pesa account in any of those other countries. Oh, too bad. Oh, the financial apartheid got you there too. What's going on? Someone doesn't want Africans trading with each other. But maybe Ray is wrong. Maybe Ray is still a conspiracy theorist. Maybe Ray is, just the banks and the telcos. That's it. There's no overarching hidden hand trying to keep Africans from trading with each other. That's preposterous, right? How many people here have a Binance account? Don't be ashamed. Raise your hands. He's a good friend of mine. It's all right. It's all right. Good. So, Zizi did a lot of good for Africa and the global south. That's why he's loved. And that's why he's hated by you-know-who, the man, long arm of the law, Uncle Sam. He's in jail right now, my homeboy. For what? So look, they didn't just put him in jail. They assigned a U.S. compliance monitor in charge of Binance. A U.S. compliance monitor is someone that basically runs a company. They can overrule the CEO and the board of directors. Guess what the very first thing that person did once their ass hit that desk? They said, oh, look, you've got this Binance peer-to-peer. Well, you know what? Oh, all the Africans can trade with each other on this thing? No. The Africans that sign up to Binance peer-to-peer can only trade with people from the country where they're KYC'd. Conspiracy? They did it to the banks, they did it to the telcos, and they did it to the crypto platforms as well. Financial apartheid is very real. Why? Because those guys over there, they get it. They understand what makes money, what creates value, what creates wealth. It's free trade. It's free trade. How many people here run a business here in Africa? Raise your hands. You run a business here? All right, great. How much business are you losing right now because you cannot easily accept payments from the rest of Africa? Throw out a number. It's over 90%, that's for darn sure. There's 53 other states on this continent, and you can't get payments from any of them, unless it's crypto, for now. So imagine I go to every business owner in Africa and say, hey, you can make at least 10 times more than you're making right now if we just connect Africa together in the most meaningful way there is, which is with the money. All of this talk about Pan-Africanism, all of this talk about this amazing technology that we have is completely and utterly meaningless unless we can transact and trade the value of our work. It is that simple. That's why I'm here. Because I want to be a part of the greatest success story in human history. The rising up and unification of the world's biggest continent. It's Africa. It's not Asia, it is Africa. As a single landmass, Africa is wider than Russia. The map lies, everything lies. I'm here telling you the truth. My name is Ray, I'm unvaccinated, I don't listen to the BBC. I don't care what the Brits think of me, and you guys should follow suit, man, because we're the winners right here. Everyone sitting here, we are the winners of this future, and it is the Gen Z of Africa that are leading the way. So look, I'm a peer-to-peer entrepreneur. I've never raised money in my life. I'm kind of unhireable. No one would hire me, so a company called NooNes did hire me. I had to hire myself, you know. It's kind of what happens when your heroes are guys like Malcolm X, and Muammar Gaddafi, and some other, as of yet, still unmentionables, unless you really get to know me better. So look, what did all those guys have in common? They figured it out. Malcolm X said, hey, you want to make it in life? Stop trying to be an actor or a rapper or a musician, an athlete, and look at the corner store. Who owns that corner store? Is it one of your people? No. You start a store right across the street, and you get your people to come to you. Corporate power starts locally. Corporate power. Where are the African Apples, the African Teslas, the African Googles? They are coming. And they will come when there is the money to feed them, and the money to feed them will only happen if that money can move around. Is Africa poor? No! Africa is very rich. Not just in the natural resources in the ground, but the natural resources all around you. Look at them. They have 2 eyes, 2 arms, 2 feet, a lot of heart, and a lot of brains. And guess what? We got plenty of money too. We just can't use it. But someone out there says that our money isn't as good as their money. If I came to you right now and said, hey, everybody, You know, I'm a billionaire. I've got $10 billion in my bank account in Egypt. But, oh, yeah, you know, the bank won't let me actually use it right now because, you know, it's just a paperwork thing. And could you buy me a latte, please? Yeah, I'm going to get the rest of the money next week. Am I a billionaire or am I a beggar? And that's what they've reduced us to. We have the money. We have everything we need right here, but they have us asking for handouts, foreign aid. To hell with that. To hell with them. And all their bogus NGOs and human rights. To hell with all of that. Just laugh in the face of all of that. That's my advice to you. My politically correct advice. So look, guys. I don't want to be here too long talking about all of this, but I just want to make something very clear. What does success look like? What does success look like to each and every one of us? And how fast can it happen once we get our act together and all this money can flow all across Africa and we're each making 10 times more money than before? Wow, how fast and how good can things get? Huh? I've been thinking about it a while. My hair looks pretty good. You see, I did it. Well, you know. I came here at 8 o'clock, man. Here's how good things can get and how fast. There can be 10 or 20 cities like Dubai in the next 10 years all across this continent. That's how fast things can move. You thinking I'm crazy? Think us black and brown folk can't get it together that fast? Let me just drop a bit of education right now. What was the first African nation to declare independence? It was Ghana in 1957. Martin Luther King Jr. was there. James Brown was there. You know James Brown? Kwame Nkrumah, he took the podium and he said, I'm going to rapidly industrialize Ghana, and I'm going to lead the way for Africa. And I know the British are saying that the black man cannot rule himself, but I believe he can. And in less than a year, 200 factories were built by the hands and work of the people of Ghana. There was no foreign investment. There was just the work of the people. 200 factories and all the infrastructure necessary to support that. The roads, the wells, the schools, the power plants. Built by who? By the hands of the black man. And the Brits were looking at that and like, golly, we're going to lose all our colonies if this continues. It's been less than a year and he's done all this, less than a year, and the Americans came and they said, you know what? You better stop this right now or we will, because if you let this continue, all these black folk are going to get real uppity here in the States and we're going to lose control of this. And they waited till he left town to go teach the folks in Guinea how he was doing it to launch a coup, and he was gone. And he was the lucky one. But since then to now, we've lost 60 leaders here in Africa. 60 have gotten the bullet. And let me tell you, the ones that just got the bullet, they were the lucky ones. Patrice Lumumba got chopped to pieces after being beaten to death, thrown in boiling acid. Wouldn't even let his family bury him. That's what happens to our good ones. And then they'll come to us and say, you're poor because you're corrupt. Your leaders are corrupt. What would you do if you had to choose between the gun and the penthouse in Miami? So let's stop calling our leaders corrupt, because if they're corrupt, that means we're corrupt. People always get the leaders they deserve, right? Let us change our mindset. We can have the greatest underdog story of all time right here in the next 10 years. All we have to do is connect the money together. And the good news is we have all the tools necessary to do so. We have peer-to-peer electronic cash. Bitcoin started it. And there's so many more blockchains to choose from. And there's all these amazing gadgets like AI that we can use instead of letting them use and train us. And all that's really nice, right? We got all these little gadgets and tools. But you know what we really got that's going to take us to the top? We have traction. We have the youth of Africa, Gen Z, that have already done it, that have started building this new global financial architecture that we have all been waiting for, right? It was the president of this country, Mr. Ruto. Someone's got to straighten that picture a little bit. If I was tall enough, it's been bothering me. Could someone hand me a broomstick? This is a great man. This is a great man. Man, us Americans, bro, you don't want to know what we're dealing with. So this brother got up in front of all of the heads of states of Europe and he said, where is this new global financial architecture that we have been waiting for? And you heard it in his voice. He was actually waiting for it. And that means everyone in Africa, all the leaders of Africa have been waiting for it. You know what the reaction was? Macron, whatever his name is, he sticks his head out like this with this little smirk like, did you actually think we were serious? Come on now. They're not going to build that for us. They don't want us to have that. Because if Africa becomes rich, they're not building anything over there. What the hell are they doing over in the West? They're a dying and dead civilization. Everyone knows it. For the first time ever in human history, last year, the BRICS nations began to surpass the G7 in GDP. And you're going to see it go into this hockey stick effect this year and next. That's why there's war brewing. We've already won. Now we have to bring this all together. So how many regulators are in this room? Regulators, raise your hands. Don't be ashamed. I'm not going to hurt you. It's okay. Come on now. Not one. I knew it. You're well-dressed, brother, like the golden tie. So, instead of calling yourselves regulators, I don't like the sound of that. What are you regulating? It sounds like, it sounds too much like the colonizer. I don't know. How about you call yourselves defenders of innovation? I live in Dubai right now. There's no taxes. We've got these free zones. All the crypto people are moving there. Nice, okay. But you know, those Arabs over there, they're too addicted to that Wall Street money for my tastes, you know. I would like to see a free zone like that right here in Africa. And Kenya, as the gateway to Eastern Africa, as the technological hub of Africa, I believe could do that. So, brother, why don't we join forces? Welcome the best of the world here to the king of continents and build this new global financial architecture together, or at very least, yet our youth build it without sending them to jail, like those brothers in Nigeria. We got a deal, brother? And why are you crossing your arms, brother? Thanks for being a good sport, brother. I'll leave it there, guys. But this is already happening. Look, I have never raised money in my life. Every business I build is cash flow positive. It is real business happening right now. I did not wait to ask anyone for permission. And that is the beautiful thing about this technology space we're in. It is permissionless. We do not have to wait for some old white guy in Brussels to make a decision for us to move. We can just move. We don't have to ask for permission, and we're not going to ask for forgiveness either. Because financial services are a human right. Right? Yes! It is our human right to use our money. Our money is no one's business but our own. Thank you.
I'm telling you, when you listen to Ray, you might end up